Hi guys, I'm going to throw cards very quickly to just check in and see if Donald Trump is actually developing dementia. Now, this is for speculation, this is alleged, this is just the cards. So, entertainment purposes only. Let's just see what we get. I've shuffled these cards. Let's see. And I'm going to use this 3-card basic past, present, future, and mind, body, spirit, so on and so forth. So I'll go over that as we put the cards down. All right. So again, I'm checking to see if Donald Trump is developing dementia with his latest, worsening. Let's see what we get. Okay, in the past, we get the 3 of Pentacles. This is with working with other people, small groups, an effort in the past. All right, just continue. The present, we get also a 7. It's not this, it's the only 7. But in other Pentacles, we get the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Future, we get the Page of Swords. That Page of Swords just flashed for me as something with the mind for him. And being watched, being observed. That's interesting. All right. So let's just take it from the past. Well, in the past, we're seeing that he's been trying to work with other people, and I think other people helping him in his past may have helped to fill in the gaps, so to speak, where he would be deficient, and it would be harder for people to completely tell exactly how he truthfully is without the help of other people, how truly deficient he would be. That's just intuitively what I'm picking up on that 3 of Pentacles for the past. And that there's like a group, we're getting the card of a group effort. I feel like he's just much like when he had the ghostwriter for his book all those years ago. He's being floated along by other people and their agendas. Okay, now I know I asked about the dementia, but this makes me feel that I feel like I'm getting a yes because of the cards. It's showing the development in all actuality, because the next card we get for our present time is a pause, a moment of looking over where one is at, considering what one needs to do to achieve the goal one is seeking. But it is a card of development, that things are in development. So physically, with this Pentacles card in his present body position with this card, I believe, because it's Pentacles and it's also talking about the body, and at my question, I believe it's saying it's in development. It is actually building up. And to me, it may not have been as evident or as developed because he had more people helping him in the past. Maybe now with more pressure, that things are more on him. it's becoming more self-evident. So it is developing, in my opinion. And again, this is all alleged for just entertainment of how the cards work, how you read them, and what you can read them on. That's what this reading is for. Okay, now in the near future, then we get the Page of Swords, which is all about mentality and clarity. And we're getting a card that is more about, can even be connected to spying, that it's watchfulness, it's observant. And in the future, it just gives me to feel that people start to really see the truth, that it's going to become more and more readily apparent, more quickly. So it was a bit slower in the past because I think people were offloading the stress and it wasn't as squarely on his shoulders. He had other people, in a different set of circumstances. And I think also if I just look at the cards and I see the Three of Pentacles compared to the buildup from 3 to 7 here, I'm getting a building of a physical issue going from the 3 to the 7. And the final outcome being a card of swords, a beginning with that Page of Swords. So I think, yes, I think he is developing definitely and is going to continue to develop into the future issues regarding dementia. I feel like it's physically in his DNA. I think there's more than one person in his family as well that has had it in the past by this card intuitively, and that he is presently developing it. Yes. I think the stress and the circumstances are expediting that buildup. Okay? And I think it's going to be more manifest in the future. It's going to become even more prevalent that it's like, yoo-hoo, what's this? Well, he's making less and less sense. So I do believe it is present and it is building. All right, let's pull a couple of cards for clarity. Beginning of energy opening up with the Ace of Wands. It's like a new phase of energy that picks up. Yeah, and stress. Okay, that makes sense. And here we have the Three of Wands. Going into the future, looking toward the future, plans for the future. Again, I do think that it's going to get more pronounced, more noticeable by the public. I even see in my mind's eye more clips, people putting together of various video of him making these nonsensical statements. They're already doing that, but I think this is going to be really different, where we're going to notice the difference between, let's say, years earlier to even the present amount of nonsense that comes out of him is going to increase. And become more self-evident. Yeah, the Fool. To me, this is someone that is not cognizant. A man of his age should be more mature than the Page of Swords and the Fool. So this makes me feel like his thinking becomes more simplistic also with the Page, as it's a less advanced card. It's one a card that's a initiatory, or it's younger, shall we say. It's not as developed. But I do feel that he is, and that the cheese is going to slide more off of his cracker here into the near future coming in. And I think the stress from the Ace of Wands builds up to the 3, actually, in this case for him, into the future, where it's now 3 times what it was in the past. And as this ratchets up, I believe we're going to see his decline advance. And that makes sense. I'm going to put that one there. Okay. I was getting more off of that Fool card. More childlike, more immature, taking bigger and bigger risks with what he says and does. His actions will become even more erratic. And he's really not going to listen to the warnings of people trying to warn him about what he's saying, what he's doing. That's interesting. Now, he's always kind of done this to a degree, but we see a buildup definitely with the numbers of these cards and their suits. And it's making sense, shall we say. The 9 of Cups. Oof. And that 10 of Swords. Yes. I think that he's going to go full on at some point to where he just has to stop. Because the 10 of Swords is drained. It's over. And a new day is dawning. So I think some people will feel vindicated with that 9 of Cups as well, that this is indeed happening and that he's over. He's going to be finished. And that is going to bring some people great relief, of course. But I keep getting that for him, that he's in an ending cycle and frankly going toward now the end of his life. And I think will be potentially expedited, okay, because of the stress. You know, I see it building up and ending. So, yes, I do think he is developing it. And I think it will get worse in the future to the point that he has to pull back because it's just not going to make sense. We get the Lovers and we get the Empress. To me, this is nurturing. This is care. This could be the wife. Okay, Melania. And women. Okay. I'm just getting a few things, just allowing them to kind of brew up from this card. There's a definite emphasis on partnerships and lucrative partnerships, his relationship with his wife, the money between her and he, and him also receiving potentially some kind of care, choices in that. Could also be his wife, Melania, will be starting to make some choices as he goes off the rails. It's like he's stuck in a way of thinking, a brain loop. But for her, I'm thinking she's going to want to get away. She's going to want to be free, independent, and not be stuck with someone like this. That's interesting. So maybe there'll be some activities regarding Melania, the marriage, the more that he finally gets to a point of just not being able to put 2 and 2 together here, it looks like, with that 10 of swords ultimately. And I believe with regard to his independence, the less that he can do for himself, the more he's going to have to be looked after, almost like a child. That's coming up in the future. Yeah. And I don't think he's able to access his independence. And I believe Melania is going to want to be on her own and to have a certain amount of money and wealth under her belt and leave this rut behind. So she could start looking at having more independence, at the very least, as he loses his. That's interesting. This is to do with the home, the house, the domestic arrangement. And we get a card of some secrets. Something that is not clear yet about the home. Something that was going to come out about family, home. Oof, and it's shady, of course. Of course it is. It's a Trump. It's shady. Yes, I really think it's going to create some secrecy that goes on within his family and their home life, how his treatment. They're hiding stuff. They will be trying to hide stuff, but I think it's going to be just obvious. I feel like this is some kind of medication they're going to try and give him. Yes, I do think he's definitely developing it, but I don't think that the medication is going to do terribly much. I see him still declining. So I do think that he is, unfortunately for him, in developing that. And that's my opinion. I think we're going to see it become more clear in the future. And, it will change things in his home, within his family, not surprisingly. They're going to have to try and hide more and more, I think, about his behavior as it becomes, I think, less grounded and sensible. I also believe that he's got partnerships where people may try to take advantage of him at this point. Maybe like Melania or people that he's worked with. Yeah, more delusional and wounded, so to speak, PTSD with this card. This is also usually the head is wrapped. So yes, I do believe he does have it, in my opinion, and its beginning stages are escalating now and will continue to grow into the future to where he really will be extremely delusional, if that were even more possible, and clearly not well, clearly a very ill person here. Very childlike temperament, again with lots of pages for him, and the Ten of Cups. It's over the top, and family. So I do think he is. And I think family will try and cover up for him and make it look like, oh, it's all fine. But it's really not okay. There's really some big issues going on. The truth will become clear with the Ace of Swords, and that he's stuck. He's holding on, I feel like, to the past, trying to keep control, but also needs stability. His issue of control will come up. There's the Hierophant, I mean, not the Hierophant, the Emperor. Yeah, I just feel that we're going to see him become far more animated with it. He may have to, at the end of the day, go and see specialists to try and stabilize him. But that's what I see. And I'm just going to leave it there because I want to kind of keep this on the short end. Okay, if you appreciate readings like this, please do give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you so much.